welcome to Chatting with Shreeda. Today I'm here with Dave, the CEO of Warrington Youth Zone. Hello Dave, how are you?
Hello Shreeda, I'm very well, thank you for asking and thank you for interviewing me. I'm looking forward to it.
Same here, I've been looking forward to it for ages. So I've got a few questions for you that I'd like you to answer. So
Perfect.
The first question is, for people who aren't familiar with you, could you tell us a bit about your background?
My background, yeah, so I'm the oldest of 6 children, so I've got two, I have 2 brothers. No, I don't. I have 2 sisters and 3 brothers. I grew up in Liverpool, and I've always lived in Liverpool, apart from times where I've moved away for a bit of time. Did live in Scotland when I was 19, and I did that after I'd done all my GCSEs and my A-levels and everything else. And when I went to Scotland, I didn't want to go to university. When I went to Scotland, it was to become a youth worker for a year and to work with children and young people. And I was just trying it for what's called a gap year or a year out. And I loved it. I really loved it. I found something I enjoyed doing and something that I thought I was pretty good at. People told me I was good at. So you can actually do a degree, go to university and do a degree in youth work. So working with children and young people, and that's what I did. So after I'd been in Scotland, I went off and did that. And then I've always worked with young people. So that's a bit about what I do in work. And outside of work, I've got I'm married and I've got 4 children. The eldest is 12 and the youngest is 9 months. And I also have a part-time hobby, little part-time job where I'm a mobile DJ, and I've done it for a very, very, very long time. I started when I was 12. So I've done it for about 30, I've done it for about 30 something years.
Wow. Wait, can you do any DJ when you're 12 years old?
Well, that's a really good question. I actually did a DJ for a wedding when I was 13. Yeah, you can do. If I looked a bit older than I was, and it was probably one of the most scary things I've ever done. But yeah, that's you can do. Yeah, if the people book you, you can do it.
So, have you been to any really well-known schools in Liverpool? Because there are some really famous ones like Blue Coat and some other ones like that.
Oh, I'm impressed with your knowledge of schools in Liverpool. There are lots of well-known schools in Liverpool, and I've got friends who I've grown up with who went to Blue Coat. There's another really famous school called Liverpool College, but no, I went to a school called St John Armand, and I sound really old now, but it's been knocked down, it doesn't exist. And I went to a primary school called St Austin's, and my 3 of my nephews and one niece and 2 nephews go to that school now.
Wow.
So yeah, but it wasn't. Neither of them are famous schools.
Actually, the reason I know that Blue Coat and some schools about Liverpool is because I'm going to Blue Coat. So
fantastic! When are you going there?
September.
September. That's brilliant news. Wow.
Thank you.
That's a long journey to school, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So, are there any more interesting facts about Liverpool that I may not know?
Oh, well, I'm sure there's one that you will know, that they're hosting Eurovision Song Contest in... you know that one. There's lots of interesting facts about Liverpool. I suppose the biggest thing is, obviously, if you go anywhere in Liverpool, you'll see a sign that says the Beatles had a cup of tea here, or the Beatles played football here, and we're really proud of the heritage and the links to the Beatles.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of bands in the 60s and 70s and all the way through that have come from Liverpool. A lot of famous actors, a lot of famous... in fact, where I live, do you know an actress called... I've forgotten her name. The one who was in a programme which mums and dads might have seen called Killing Eve, and she's been in lots and lots of stuff. Who am I talking about?
I don't know.
Well, anyway, a very famous actor and actress, and I can't remember her name, but she went to a school very close to where I live called St Julie's, and is from Liverpool, and her name will come to me as soon as I leave this interview.
Jodie Comer.
Well done, yeah, Jodie Comer. So Jodie's a local actor. But there's lots and lots of things to do in Liverpool every single day of the week, like there is in Warrington.
Wow. So is it would you say that they both are have the same, what do you call it? Does it have any landmarks or anything?
Liverpool has lots of landmarks. I suppose the obvious one and the one, because I'm not really a football fan, most people who live in Liverpool either love Everton or Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm not really that bothered about football. So the big landmarks, if you're into football, is the two football stadiums.
Yeah.
And there's also Tranmere, which is on the other side of the water. But you've got the ferry across the Mersey is very famous. So when you do go there, I'm sure you'll get an opportunity. To, if you haven't, have you done it before? Been on the ferry?
I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of ferries. I get seasick.
Oh, right.
So,
I'm not sure you get seasick on this one. It doesn't go for very long. But it goes across the River Mersey, which is the river that runs through Liverpool.
Yeah.
And the other one, they've got something called the Three Graces. And the Three Graces are three buildings on the front of the river. The most famous one is the Liver Buildings. And that's got two birds on either side of it. One faces towards the river and one faces towards the city. They're called Bertie and I think Billy, but I might be wrong. And these birds are the bird that you see on the Liverpool Football Club emblem, and they're the emblem of Liverpool, of the city of Liverpool, as well as the football club. So if you get a chance to have a look at the Liver Buildings, you can't really go in there, but lots of people go and have a look at it, and there's some brilliant museums as well. I feel like I'm on the tourist board for Liverpool.
Oh yeah,
now.
We've been to a museum in school. I think it was called Western Approaches, and it was like an army base, I think.
And that's in the basement, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We've been there. It was really interesting as well. So I think it was underground and it can't be destroyed or anything by earthquakes or bombs or anything. So it was really interesting. And yeah, is there anything more about Liverpool and any interesting facts about you?
Any interesting facts about me? Well, one of the interesting facts about me is in 2 days' time I'm going to the coronation.
Wow.
And I was invited about 3 months ago and I wasn't allowed to say anything. And then I've not really said much about it because I thought lots of people, about 2 years ago, I was given an award called the British Empire Medal. And that's for services to young people. So I'm really proud about it. I don't tell lots of people because I'm quite modest, which I don't like to I'm not one of those people who likes to brag. I don't like to brag, exactly.
I don't like it when other people say anything about me either if they know what's actually happened. Yeah,
no, I completely agree, and I absolutely understand that. Anyway, I got an email about 3 months ago saying we'd like you'd been invited to the coronation. So I'm getting the train down to London tomorrow and going to the coronation on Saturday. Which, so that's a fact about me, and it's all very very strange, really, because I'm just a normal person from Liverpool who's done what I've done. So I feel very, very honoured to be going to it. And in terms of facts about Liverpool, I'm sure there's loads and loads and loads that I could tell you about. What I would say about Liverpool is we've got loads of parks which are really nice.
Yeah.
Sefton Park, Allerton Park. There's lots of Calderstones, loads of really nice places that you can go to and you don't have to spend a lot of money, so you can just kind of work your way around, and if the weather's nice, it's a great place great places to go.
So I've got another question for you. What does your usual day look like?
Oh, that's a very good question. I would say I don't really have a usual day. Every day's different. I normally get up in the morning between 6 and 6:30. One of the things I have to do is my eldest daughter is in secondary school, so she has to we don't live near the bus stop that she gets to the bus, so I have to get her to the bus stop for 7:30. So I get up, we have to iron lots of uniforms because we've got 3 children who are in school, and make 3 packed lunches, and then I start by taking them all take her to school. I then normally come straight to the youth zone.
Yeah.
And every day is different. So I do lots and lots of meetings, and I work with the team of brilliant staff that we've got at the youth zone to sort of plan what we're doing, to look at ideas for doing things differently, to create opportunities for children and young people who come here. I work really closely with Warrington Borough Council,
wow,
on lots and lots of different things. And I work with Warrington Youth Zone's the 14th youth zone in the country.
Is it?
Yeah, there's one. The furthest north is in Carlisle, which is up past the Lake District near Scotland, and the furthest south is in a place called Croydon, which is South London, the bottom of London. And we've got them all over the place. Lots and lots of them around Greater Manchester and the northwest, and there's 3 in London, with another one being built at the moment. And so I spend lots of time either meeting or talking to the other people who do my job in those youth zones. And then we have another organisation called On the Side, which is like our parent company. So they kind of help us with lots of things and lots of ideas. So I spend lots of time with them as well.
It makes sense that you spend loads of time, because Warrington Youth Zone is like perfect, and it's really nice to know that such a small town has a youth zone, and it's the 14th one in the country. So yeah,
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah, same. I joined a few months ago only because I heard that there was a technology room.
Oh wow, that's great to hear.
And it was because a friend recommended it to me, and I've made another few friends come here as well, just like to hang out and everything. But it's not just the tech room that really impresses me. Everywhere is amazing. It's super colourful, and it's just a really vibrant, nice place to be in my opinion.
Brilliant. I'm really glad to hear that you enjoy it. And the idea of a youth zone is that there's something for everyone. So whether that's a space that you can go climbing, you might be someone who's into skateboard, and we will have a skate park at some point soon.
Wow.
But there's lots and lots of like football or sports or cooking. The idea is you can never be bored in a youth zone because there's always something new to do. So that's why that's what we're here for. And it's great that you remember, and it's great that you're enjoying it.
I think you've thought of literally everything, and I really like how you all ask, like, is there anything that we can add to it to make it even better? You don't just keep it like, we've already done it, that's enough. You keep adding more to make this an even better place. That's what's really nice about Youth Zone.
Yeah, that's really, really nice to hear. And the Youth Zone is just a building, actually, and although there's lots of really fun stuff to do here, one of the things we have to do is make sure we get the right people to work in the youth zone. So whether they're like Ditch doing the support and you were doing the podcast, or it's people working in our gym, or people working in the rec area or the kitchen, wherever they're working, we want people who care about children and young people, and then they've got a skill, and that skill might be podcasts, or it might be DJing, but the first and the most important thing is that young people are really important to them and helping them, and if we get that bit right, then everything else follows on pretty well.
Yeah. So I've got the third question. What did you want to be when you're younger?
That's a really good question. So when I was younger, I wanted to be lots of things. I think at one point I wanted to be a policeman. And the thing I remember always wanting to be was what's called a lighting technician. So I wanted to work in a theatre, or when you see concerts and things like Glastonbury. Yeah. I wanted to do the lights and everything. Yeah, so I did some volunteering at a couple of theatres in Liverpool, and I did the go at doing the lights there. But unless you live in London, there isn't actually a lot of opportunities to be a lighting engineer, or at least when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of opportunities. So I kind of realised that probably wasn't going to be a job that I could get into that easily. And then I also wanted to be a radio DJ. So I sent off lots and lots and lots of tapes to all kinds of radio stations, including one called Radio Lollipop, which is the radio station that's in Alderhay Children's Hospital, or it was at the time. Yeah. And didn't get anywhere, but then I did end up getting a job in another hospital radio station, and I had, well, not a job, I was a DJ there, presenter on the radio for years, and really enjoyed it.
That sounds fun.
But yeah, so the answer is I didn't actually want to be a youth worker originally. I wanted to be a policeman and then a lighting engineer. Like,
would your younger self have predicted that you'd be doing this?
Probably by the time I got to being about mid-teens, so maybe like 13, 14,
15,
15. Yeah, I was becoming. I'd always volunteered in clubs with young people. So I worked in a youth club for disabled children called the Fab Club, and it was like a youth club for young people. I also volunteered for years and years in a school called St Vincent's School for the Blind.
Oh yeah,
so
I've heard of it.
Have you? Yeah, that's another school in Liverpool. So I helped them there a couple of nights a month, and so I think I'd always had that
of like bond for children.
Yeah, I always enjoyed being around children and young people, and that never left me, and it just kind of grew and grew really as I kind of started looking at a career, a job. So
that is very inspiring, I guess, because what was I going to say then? I forgot. Why the policeman earlier?
I don't remember why I was. I think maybe because when I was about 4 years old, I got a police car. One of those cars you can sit in. I don't think there was any real desire to be in the police for a long time.
Is it because of the siren?
Possibly, yeah. Although my brother is a policeman.
Wow.
And he's been in the police for about 15 years now. So yeah. But no, that wasn't the path I took in the end.
So question 4, what is your favourite meal?
Oh, another good question. Favourite meal? Type of food is probably Mexican food. I like spicy food, and or salads. I tend to prefer to eat food that's healthier, rather than I don't like McDonald's, don't like any fast food. I don't like eating chips and stuff. So either sort of homemade Mexican with fresh food, or boring salads, or wraps. I like wraps as well.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. What's your favourite meal?
Mine, I like takeaway a lot and fast food a lot as well. But I like Indian food, partly because I'm Indian as well.
Okay.
And I've never exactly tried anyone else's Indian foods, but I guess I just like it because my mum makes it, and it's just got that homey touch to it.
And what's your favourite dish that your mum makes?
I'm not sure. I like everything she makes.
Oh, that's a good answer in case your mum listens to this, isn't it?
She does listen to my podcasts. She really likes them as well. So that's partly one of the reasons why I continue to do them all the time.
Brilliant.
And my whole family appreciates it as well.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So what's something that you like eating other than salads? And do you like anything that's unhealthy?
Yeah, I do. Probably the most unhealthy thing I like is coffee, and I have too much of that. In terms of food, I don't really like sweets and stuff. If I'm tired, and I do tend to get tired now and again, I'll eat chocolate, but that's more just because I want an energy kick rather than I like chocolate.
Sugar.
So a bit boring, really. So yeah, that's.
I eat sweets all the time. That explains why I'm so hyper. even if it's like 3 o'clock, I just eat a sweet and I'm super hyper.
Right.
So yeah. Since you're a bit of a DJ, what kind of music do you enjoy listening to?
Oh, again, you've got some brilliant questions. So I, interestingly, when you DJ, you almost don't hear the music you're playing because you're there to play music to other people. Not all DJs do this, but...
Is it because of the headphones?
No, you can hear it, but you kind of, when you're playing it, you're thinking about what's the next song I'm going to play to get people dancing or whatever it is. So you're sort of not really listening to it in the way that you do if you're driving or you're in the car or you're at home listening to music. I suppose my favourite sort of music to listen to would be a big, broad mix of stuff. I like... bands from the 80s, like a band called Bon Jovi.
Yeah. I've heard of it.
And then there's quite a few, some other singers I like. There's a band, an American group called The Chicks, who sing like sort of folky stuff, country stuff. It sounds a bit boring, but they're good. And then I also, at the other end of the spectrum, like kind of rap and stuff like Eminem and Drake. So I like loads and loads of different stuff.
That's interesting. Do you enjoy like super quiet music, like opera? Not opera, that's not that quiet, but do you like opera and super quiet music?
Opera's probably one of the type of music that I really don't like.
Same.
And I don't like kind of listening to... I don't listen to music like chilled music and stuff.
Yeah.
I just never do, because I'm always... If I wanted to listen to something, I'd normally listen to a podcast. So I either listen to the radio or a podcast rather than listen to loads of music.
Yeah. I have a specific podcast on Spotify for all the songs I do like. They have to be like really upbeat and happy for me to listen to it, or else I just hate it automatically.
Very good.
I don't like opera. I don't understand the thing they say sometimes.
Yeah.
And chill music just isn't my type either.
Oh, okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of rap, but it's alright as well.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's interesting.
Thank you. If you could do any other job other than the one you're doing now, what would it be?
Ooh.
That one got you thinking.
It has got me thinking. It's difficult because I really enjoy the job I do.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't doing this, I would probably like to be a radio presenter on like Radio City in Liverpool, or a national radio station, or doing some sort of presenting, not necessarily on the telly. I don't particularly want to be in front of a camera, but yeah, that kind of presenting side of things, I think, is the bit that I'd quite enjoy.
So, like, would you like to be a teacher? Because that's also got children involved.
Interestingly, one of my sisters is a teacher, and I absolutely would not like to be a teacher at all.
I'm making all the homework and everything.
It's not my... when you work in a youth zone and you're in this environment, things can be a lot more relaxed. We don't have to. We've obviously got to make sure children are safe when they come here.
Yeah.
We've got really good activities that children want to do. We've got the right people working here, but we haven't got to follow like a curriculum. We haven't got to get everyone to the same level like you have in school and get them through exams. That I think teachers do a brilliant job, but that's not the job that would excite me. So no, I definitely don't want to be a teacher. I'll leave that to my sister.
Because, like, you know how you work for children and everything. When I asked that question, I thought you'd say teacher.
No, definitely not. It's definitely not what I would want to do. What do you want to do? What's your ideal job?
I'm not exactly sure. I wanted to be a mathematician because I enjoy doing math. But I don't just want to dedicate my life to math or anything. I'm not really sure. Maybe a celebrity, I'm not sure. Or a businesswoman, I'm not sure either.
Wow, all really good ideas.
Thank you. So, what would your dream holiday destination look like?
I really want to go to Cuba, which is South America.
Yeah, South America.
Yeah, no reason. I'd love to give you a really interesting reason why. I've just always wanted to go there, and I just like the idea of just exploring. But to be honest, any holiday where I can throw a backpack on and sleep in a tent and explore new places and not go to going to a hotel and eating hotel food and just being with people who are on holiday doesn't really interest me. But going or just camping, I really like camping.
Have you been Cuba before or anything?
No, I've never been to South America, so I don't know anything about it, and there's no real reason I want to go there, but just interested.
So there's no reason why you want to go to Cuba in specific?
No, and now you say it like that, there should be a reason that I'm so specific about wanting to go there, but it's just one of those places I've always wanted to go.
Yeah.
Someone I used to work with went there years ago and came back and said they had a great time, and it was really interesting. But yeah, there's no
There's no proper reason.
No proper reason,
Yeah.
no.
I wanted to go to Japan real bad. It's mainly because of mochis and everything. I really like mochis.
You like what?
Mochis. Have you ever heard of them?
Light cheese, is it?
Mochis.
No, what's that?
It's like a dough
Oh, okay.
outside ice cream. I don't eat the
wow.
dough bit, but I like the ice cream inside. And I heard that they have weird flavoured Kit Kats. Like a chicken wing flavoured one.
Wow.
I really want to try that one.
Do you think we should start selling them on our tuck shop?
Maybe. Yeah. So, and one final question. If you had £10 million that you had to spend in the next 7 days on Youth Zone, what would you spend it on?
£10 million to spend in the next 7 days.
10 million's really random. But yeah.
Wow, what would I spend it on? I would give all of our members free membership for the year. I would help some of our members live in families where things are a little bit tough because the cost of running the house is quite expensive, food's expensive, so I would probably try and help them in some way. I don't quite know what that would be. I think we'd have a huge party and invite all of the young people from across Warrington to come in and get some big names, some big singers to come and entertain us. And I'd try and buy some things that we were going to use in the future. One thing I do want to do is have a youth zone in a bus, because there's places in Warrington that young people can't get to us, or can't get to us very easily. So places like Rixton, Croft, Burton Wood, Winnick, some of these places are quite far away from the youth zone. And if we had the money to do it, I would want to get a big double-decker bus and convert it into a youth zone on wheels, so that when they can't get to us very easily, rather than us trying to get them here, we could take the youth zone to them or take a version of the youth zone to them. Does that make sense?
Clever. Yeah, I get what you mean, because some people won't be able to come here. And a bus would be a really clever idea to get everyone on, even though they can't go to the actual building.
Yeah.
So, what if it wasn't just for you? Don't imagine if you could also spend it on yourself and any other things.
I think I would. If I had £7 million, I would give some money to the youth zone. I would give some money to my family, brothers and sisters, mum and dad, and to my own family. And I'd probably invest it, which is a bit boring, but I'd buy probably some property. And one thing I've always wanted to do is to have an outdoor centre for young people to come to who can't afford to go to. Do you know what PGL is?
No.
So it's like a residential centre that you go to when you're in school. But it's quite expensive. So for all children to be able to go to a residential centre, I'd try and do something like that.
I think we're going to residential as well for a trip, and I think we might be camping in a forest, a safe one with no animals.
Right.
I wouldn't be going if there were animals in it. So yeah, thank you so much for coming.
No,
Dave.
thank you. I've really enjoyed it. I know it's taken us a little while to get together, but I've really enjoyed it. And you know, your interviewing skills are phenomenal.
Thank you
honestly,
so much.
you put people at ease. And how old are you? Do you mind me asking?
I'm 10. I'm turning 11 in 5 days.
Wow. Well, happy birthday for 5 days' time.
Thank you.
And I tell you what, if the BBC are ever looking for anyone, I think you could definitely get a job as an interviewer.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know you're a really busy person.
No problem.
Thank you for spending some time here. Hope you come again. Bye.
Bye.
Superb.
Thank
That was
you.
your best one ever. Well done.
That was brilliant. Really,
you.
really good. You honestly are very, very gifted.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should definitely look into doing something.
So you're the inaugural wall. So I'm not going to permanent markers, but we'll get you to sign it and we're going to put it on the wall.
Oh,
So
okay.
It'll be a hall of fame.
Fantastic.
For all
Ooh.
the interviews.
Do you know what? I just wondered if there's one thing you could do with these is like maybe get me to to get someone else, like nominate someone else on the microphone to do
I
it?
think that's what Gary and Tom and everyone else did. I think that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
They did that, I think.
They said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So shall I nominate someone?
Yes.
Sure?
Okay. Are we still rolling? Are we still recording?
Oh, no, we haven't done that. Let me hear.
Oh God. I hope not.
Okay. Do you want to just ask me who I nominate to have the next interview?
Are there any celebrities or anyone because Ditch already told me that Lindsay Hoyle, we've already asked him, so yeah.
Yeah, there's someone I think would be really interesting to interview, and I don't think he'd class himself as a celebrity, but there's a man called Stephen Broomhead who's the chief executive of Warrington Borough Council. So he's responsible for everything that happens in Warrington, the roads, the schools, everything that happens in the town, the youth zone. He's got responsibility for pretty much anything and everything that happens in Warrington. So I'm seeing him next week, and I will ask him if he will come and have an interview with you. What do you think? Would that be all right?
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Do you know any politicians?
Do I know any? I do know two politicians. One is called Andy.
Andy, yeah.
Do you know Andy Carter?
Yeah, he came into our school once.
So Andy's one of the politicians.
Doesn't he hold a Christmas card competition?
He did, yeah. And then there is another politician for Warrington who's in Labour and Conservative. The other politician is called Charlotte Nichols.
Ooh.
And Charlotte is Charlotte's actually, we're in Charlotte's area in her constituency. So Charlotte's responsible for north of Warrington, and Andy is responsible for south of Warrington. And I'm hoping actually that they're going to come to an event that we're doing next week to open the artwork under the bridges. So we could definitely ask them if they can come to that. It's quite short notice, and they spend a lot of time in London in the Houses of Parliament.
Wow. Wait, so they've met the Prime Minister before?
Andy knows the Prime Minister really well, yeah. He spends a lot of time with him.
That is sick. Oh, that would be fun. I can't wait.
Should we try and get Rishi Sunak to come and see you?
Yes.
Well, I'd tell you what, if we write to him, there's no reason that we can't. We can write and see what he says.
Yay! Oh God, I'm really happy right now.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Honestly, I think that was great. I will ask Stephen next week if he'll do it. I'm seeing him on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And if the politicians are there, then I'll ask them to do it as well.
Thank you.
All right.